Guys, good evening. Welcome back. Happy second week of class, and I hope you guys are having a good start to your week. It's kind of hard to believe it's Tuesday already, but the fall semester always seems to feel, well, I guess every semester always feels like it's going pretty quickly. So, and if you guys are feeling good out there, having had a good weekend, give me a little thumbs up emoji. I'm happy to be back. It's definitely an interesting start to the school year. There's a lot of announcements, a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So let me briefly mention a couple of things before we jump in, because we're obviously going to be going over protocols and things like that, and moving into designer therapy units, our designer therapy unit. But really quick before we begin, as you saw in the chat, there are a series of steps for add codes. So I know I've been getting a couple of requests for folks that want to add the class. If you are trying to add the class and have successfully done it, there is like a certain way to add a course. And apparently it's a 4-step process, which I put into the chat that I want to just kind of display briefly for you. Because as a designer, it's interesting. One of the things about web design is that it should be a 1 to 2 click process to navigate from one interface or screen or page to the next. The add code seems to be a 4-step process, which is not the most effective experience in my opinion. However, when I kind of asked my wife, who is a counselor at the college, she mentioned that frequent questions from students come from the steps. I think there's an assumption that we do 1 step or 2 steps, but not 4. So if a few of us are trying to add to the course or watching this recording, then basically anytime we try to add a course, it's a bit of a 4-step process. And I placed the link into the chat. Essentially, student tab, look for the add or drop class button, enter the CRN code, which is the class code for this class. I also mentioned it in the chat. Class code for this class is 52129. That's 52129. Submit changes, click, and then you enter the add code that I emailed over to you, which is it's unique for every person. And then once you enter the code, you hit the validate button. And then after you validate, then you want to make sure everything is finalized by hitting submit changes again, followed by checking to make sure that it says registered on the screen. So if at any point you feel like those steps haven't been met, then rerun that and shoot me a quick message. In fact, let's try, I would say at some point during the break tonight, run it. And then if it still doesn't work, stick around after class, and then we'll give you a new code, and I'll wait for you to enter that code, okay? And then if that works, then we're good. So it is a bit of a lengthy process, so that's just a quick announcement there, because I was asking my wife, is there a thing I don't know about add codes? And it's oh yeah, we always get questions about this number of steps. It has a bit too many. And so if you feel like you missed a step, or if this is totally clearing up the process, you can give me a little thumbs up emoji. Hopefully it is clarifying the process a little bit and kind of helping you guys a little bit there. So, I'll try to place that into it's complicated because when students try to add, they don't see this, right? So they have to email me and I have to link over to them. So, but for some that already have the Zoom link before we started, or I sent it to you, this is the official step, okay? So make sure you refer to that at some point tonight. Give it a go, try it out. If the codes still don't work, let me know. There could be a glitch on my end. The codes that were generated could be faulty. There could be a few things going on behind the scenes that I will still have to kind of troubleshoot. So just wanted to throw that out there just in case. And so keep you guys in the loop, okay? So there's that quick announcement on the add code situation, all right? Other news basically is that the college is now starting to send out messages on vaccinations for students that are interested in doing that. So I don't know if you saw that, but did anyone see that in the Real Honda email about vaccinations? I'm trying to retrieve it. There's probably a quick announcement mentioned on the main website. But basically, we sent a message a little bit earlier on student information. See if I can retrieve that. And that was on, yeah, the COVID vaccine clinic on campus. So if I open up this window from our director, and there should be a vaccine clinic, there it is. And so basically what's going on is that on September 1st, so tomorrow from 12 to 4, if you haven't had a vaccine and you're willing to come onto campus, there's no appointment necessary. Basically, they're going to be distributing the Pfizer vaccine, which is the 95-96% effective vaccine. You need 2 doses, so you have to return in 2 weeks from the first shot. But they're offering that free to all students on campus between those hours, okay? So if you are interested and you are eligible, obviously 12 and up, then come on down to the campus in parking lot C, as in cat, and then you can go ahead and perform there. Again, no appointment necessary, okay? So the college is offering that to students, and you know, I have the Pfizer vaccine, so I am vaccinated. First one, there's no issues. Second one can be hit or miss in terms of symptoms. Anyone that's taken the second shot knows that you might have a reaction, and that is normal. I think for me, it was a 36-hour reaction, and probably the most intense was like 8 hours of that. And then I started feeling it afterwards. So it felt kind of like having a little bit of a flu in like a short period of time. And then some people have different time frames too. So depending on like how your immunities are. Again, if you're interested, go ahead and go for it. If you have an immunity compromise of any sort or any type of just pre-existing health conditions, probably safe to check with your doctor in advance in case of any concerns or issues and things of that sort. For the immunocompromised community. So take a look at it, but it's available for you there. So just a quick announcement on that, okay? The college is sort of planning to open up sometime next year. And so part of that is vaccinations and things of that sort. So they're going to be requiring students to be vaccinated, okay? So if that makes sense, you give me a little thumbs up emoji. Again, safety is key. And we just want to make sure that everyone is just fully aware of all the resources that the college is offering. Check your emails, you know, every now and again, every couple of days. There's lots of announcements coming in. And so some of those things may or may not be related to the class / the campus. So definitely keep a look, keep an eye out, and then be aware, okay? So I just want to keep you guys in the loop on that. All right, very cool. Moving forward, we are actually going to be looking at our designer therapy unit. So basically tonight is going to be sharing insights and strategies on how to formulate a new lifestyle as a designer. Designers definitely are, it is a lifestyle. I think that's probably the best way you can describe it. The best designers I've seen totally have this lifestyle of seeing design and making it like incorporated into their life. Whether it's like constantly being aware of the visual environment, being aware of ads, being aware of certain, you know, videos or films. We're always like kind of scanning the environment and being very, very aware of what's around us, right? So that's something that we do. In this lecture, we're gonna look at Zoom procedures. In case there is someone out there that may not understand Zoom, I know it's probably unlikely, but just in case there's one person out of us that may not have Zoom broken down effectively, we're gonna look at that really quickly. We're gonna look at what brings us to the class. That's the name card exercise. So hopefully everyone has their name card, whether it's by hand or digital. We're gonna ask you to turn on your camera this evening. We're gonna say hi. We're gonna basically have an introduction. I know you feel like you know me already, but this is the first time I'm seeing you and talking to you for the first time. So it's an introduction to everyone. So, you know, hopefully everyone is looking on point, you know, and all that good stuff. I'm noticing a few of us are like very styled up, so that's cool. And you look great. So we look forward to meeting you. I look forward to talking to you, and so does the rest of the class. We're gonna look at how our minds learn information. So I'm gonna give you an update on within the last like 5 years of what the neuroscience is saying about how human beings learn. and what are some of the things that they recommend. I think it's important to know. There are some things that I think we may have done, certain habits we may have created during the pandemic that kind of like limit that, alter that, or maybe just make that difficult to for us to kind of cultivate. And so I want to share with you some of that research from the UC system, and it's coming from some really popular sites out there like Learning How to Learn, which is the most downloaded online lesson on the planet, basically. So we're going to pull information from there, take a look at that this evening. And then we're going to look at formulating habits and within the last 10 years, we know about formulating habits of behavior and how we can take a bad habit and formulate it into a new habit. So, like I said, some of us have developed some pretty funky habits during the pandemic, whether it's gaming till 5 a.m. and then going to class at 8. It's happened, I've seen it. And so, or, some of us just basically eating too many cookies at night and you should be drawing away, or who knows, we might be doing something that just probably we never expected we would be doing, but hey, this is what happens when you're in a quarantine or a lockdown. And even though things are opening up, we might need to address those habits in your own personal way. But I think it's helpful to know. So I always share this with my students. So this is going to be our lecture. And then for the next one, we're going to look at the financial aspect. So we'll be jumping into the money for our next meetup. So we'll actually be looking at value-based design right away. So that's going to be really cool for tonight. Okay. All right. So let's jump in. Let's just talk briefly about Zoom. Just out of curiosity, anyone not use Zoom as much during the pandemic? I'm just curious if you can give me a little thumbs up. Maybe I used it here and there. Maybe you used it a couple times. Maybe no one's giving you a full breakdown of it, but okay, high school used WebEx instead. Okay, perfect example. So how many of you guys that are just starting this new year used a different system like a WebEx or Google Hangouts while you were doing quarantine? And this is the first time you're seeing Zoom in an educational environment. You can give me a thumbs up emoji or you can type it in the chat, but I'm noticing at least a couple of us how you were operating some of the systems there. So WebEx was one, used Zoom last year, most used Google Meet, Zoom, 1.5 years. Okay, so we have a variation of people, and there's always a couple of us that just didn't really get a full Zoom experience. And I think you've lucked out because I think for all of us, we can say we were Zoomed out, and that's a real thing. And so you were spared of the zoomed out moments. So and zoomed out basically means that you had an abundance of zooming to the point that you just completely, it's kind of like watching movies or doing a Netflix binge for 24 hours. And that's kind of what it feels like. Okay, so let's jump in. Okay, a lot of information, I know, but essentially, basically, for each slide, the rule is pretty simple. Whenever you're jumping onto the Zoom environment or anything online, you're opting in. I was having a conversation with another teacher, and he says that an online class versus an in-person class are two very different worlds, mainly because for one, online classes only work when you choose to take the online class, right? Some people did really well because they chose to participate and they were interested in it. Others had a hard time because they were forced into it due to a pandemic, right? But most people are successful with online classes when they opt in, choose to understand this is the way that we can do it and the benefit you're going to get from the back end. So it's an opt-in thing. But for some, we're doing it because we have to, and some of us are. So for those of us that feel like you have to do Zoom, try to opt in and see what's the potential behind it and see if there's something that you might benefit from, because that's a level of buying in and you can actually benefit from that, if that makes sense. So online really is successful when you buy into something and you actually want to participate. It's like using YouTube. You choose to go onto YouTube and look at something for a period of time. Same idea for an online class. So the mindsets are a little different. But how does this basically work, right? Well, you're logging in and where you're at, you should be distraction free. That basically means, I hope, a place where there's not too much distraction, not a lot of noise. Maybe you have a space where you specifically dedicated to you. That's helpful. The reality is, though, is that not everybody has that. And so you got to fight or advocate for yourself to have that. It's interesting. I was having a conversation with a couple students last semester, and I said, and they almost felt obligated to be at home to do the Zoom. And I was like, well, why do you feel obligated to be at home? It's like, I don't know. I just thought I had to be home. It's like, I don't know where you are. So you could be anywhere as long as it's no noise, no distractions. You could be outside at Starbucks, and jumping onto the class via Wi-Fi, their free Wi-Fi. And if that's the quiet space, or that place is more quiet than your house, go there. Does that make sense? I'm not gonna get mad if you're home. I'm not gonna be mad if you're at Starbucks. I'm not gonna be mad if you're in Hawaii. Well, maybe in Hawaii, I'll be jealous, not mad. But wherever you are, as long as you're like super distraction free, less noise, minimum noise, hopefully, then go there. Okay, like do what you got to do. Okay, I'll try to let you know in advance. Hey, I'm gonna ask you to turn on your camera. So maybe you want to go somewhere, where you feel more comfortable sharing your environment. But the reality is that some students are uncomfortable. Some students are uncomfortable sharing where they live because of the inequalities of their living environment. I live with my family. I live with my grandparents. I live with my kids. And they feel very uncomfortable, and that's okay to feel uncomfortable. The reality is that you came to school to be in a safe environment, and now we flip the script and now we're in your house, right? And so it's like someone visiting your house, right? I'm only gonna let you into my living room, and that's kind of like the neat part of my house, but don't go to my bedroom because it's a mess, right? It's the equivalent to that. And so just a little brief background. So if you're feeling uncomfortable sharing your screen or your background, shoot me a quick message or direct message and say, hey, Professor, seriously, I'm not in an environment where I want to share this. So, maybe we can skip, or maybe we can just hear my voice. I'm like, that's great. But we got, we wanted some level of participation in doing that. So yeah, we're proud of you guys for continuing, for trying. And, nobody signed up for this, but we're here and we're making the best out of it. So that's some good positive vibes that we're throwing out to you guys. Okay, so that's just the reality there. Yeah, when you go online, you're muted. So when you do unmute yourself, just remember to mute yourself again. And if you forget, I'll mute you. You'd be interested. I have stories of people that forgot to mute. I'll just say that. I'll just leave it at that. If you have a question, you can type it in the chat. You can do the little hand raise button. You can just kind of jump on the mic and say, hey, professor, can I ask you a question? I don't really have a one way. Feel free to use any way, and you're totally okay to do that, okay? I'm monitoring the gallery of videos. I'm monitoring the chat. I'm monitoring the participants. I see everything that's going on. So however you participate, I'll get an indicator of that, okay? So I'm kind of like a pilot, and I'm flying the plane, and I got all these dials, bells, and whistles while delivering this information, okay? So I'll see something, however way you communicate with me, okay? And so that's great. Paper and pencil, handy if you have that. If not, don't worry about it. And I know that people say, make sure your video is on, but we understand with inequalities there that might not be an equitable environment. So do the best that you can, okay? As obviously every teacher has a unique link. We talked about finding the link at the top of your list. Zoom actually has two formats, the downloaded app and also the web browser version. So just out of curiosity, how many of you guys are on Zoom through the web browser like Safari or Chrome, Firefox? You're actually watching it through the Firefox app or Chrome or Safari and things of that sort. Okay, so that's the browser, okay? There might be some situations when we do breakout rooms in the future. If you can try to download the app, feel free. But sometimes the Chrome, Firefox, or Safari app could have some impact. I've seen in the past, pretty stable, but if you can do the downloaded app version, feel free. If you don't know where to find it, shoot me an email. I'll send you the link where you can download it. Obviously, you need your passcodes and things like that for your computer to enter into the system, okay? But I have seen a couple of times when we do breakout rooms that it's like, oh, professor, I can't do it because that web browser doesn't allow me to do it. So there's ways around it. I can push you there, but just to kind of keep a heads up on the Safari and Chrome browsers, okay? So there's that information I want to share with you guys, okay? So that's great. And if you had Wi-Fi issues and things of that sort, then don't worry about it. We understand that there's internet issues. You're at home. There's like 20 people using a device, I'm sure. Everyone has cell phones. There's a television possibly running. There's siblings or relatives on their computers probably doing stuff. You're streaming like crazy. You are literally a media company all on your own. And so there's going to be delays. There's going to be impacts of some sort. That's why we're recording it. If we lose contact for whatever reason, don't freak out. There's a recording, okay? So that's why we do it. We do the recording to back you guys up. And so, and if there's specific things, just try to jump back on board. You can use your phone, download the Zoom app. It'll launch for you. Hello. You can use your launch app. A little awkward saying hi to the neighbor with my window open. But you know what I mean? Like you can jump in multiple formats. So if you have to use your phone, great. Just keep me in the loop, and then that way I can find out, I can work with you, okay? So that's helpful to know. All right. So if the meeting doesn't start, then you're hanging out with James playing games because I set it up so that you guys can connect before I do. And it was intended to build community. Sometimes you sit and there's just dead air, and sometimes you got James, right? And so, and I mean that in the best possible way. So you guys can talk, you can connect, you can ask questions, you can talk about assignments. Again, you don't have to basically be like waiting all quietly, right? Students in the past have imagined the wait time as a way to connect. We even imagine like, oh, what would the first 30 minutes of class look like? Or how about we just talk about just general design stuff for the first 30 minutes of class? I've had students make recommendations like that, and I am open to that. So if, let's say, you want to share current events, or if you just want to, ask me anything, or if you just want to be like, hey, can we just share like cool designs that maybe we've seen, places we've been to? Let's share that, right? Perfect example, I haven't been out to LA in the arts district in a while, but I went out Saturday. Yeah, it was Sunday. No, Sunday. Sunday afternoon, I went out to the art district and went to, I forget the name of it, but it's like a garden. It's kind of like a beer garden, and really nice space. But the art around was great. Like I actually felt like it was an artist environment, and then the fashion was really cool too. So I actually got inspired by some of the T-shirt designs that a lot of young people were wearing, clashing colors, pinks, T-shirts, scarves in the middle of the heat. Like it was interesting, it was cool. And I like the vibe, right? And so there was a little bit of that. Sometimes some designers want experiences, right? And those experiences help our designs. Maybe we can share that. That could be some things we can share. Hey, go here, go there. Do you want to go somewhere where you want to feel inspired? Try this place. So I'll try to get the name if you're really, really interested, but it was really cool space. Liked it a lot. It wasn't too bad, right? So we can play around with ideas on how to use the first 30 minutes of class time to connect in different and unique ways. It doesn't have to be a game per se, sorry, James, right? But it could be a conversation. It could be sharing resources, sharing design, sharing links, videos, just things that are just like cool, interesting, and inspiring. Feel free to do that. I encourage that, right? This is a great way to kind of build community. And so let's do that, right? Let's try to instill that, and I'm okay with doing that if that's the case, okay? Okay, again, open up Zoom meetings. The link is always available at all times. You can connect at any place. It's the same link to connect with me. I just show up when you show up. And so that's generally the idea there, okay? We won't worry about opening rooms. It's always open, but you could always test your computer audio. But it doesn't really show up unless the room is locked. So, but if you're familiar with testing your computer audio, you can go to preferences, and if I understand correctly, preferences can open up settings, and then you can test sound. And so you can test your sound on Zoom, you can test your video, see how you look, everything of that sort. There's a few formats that you can do to kind of test sound. One way, if the room is locked, which it doesn't, is by going to test computer audio. So there's that feature there, okay? Everyone here pretty much has their name when they enter into the system. So I would just encourage you guys, to try to keep your legal names on the screen at all times. I believe the feature to change it is on, so enable rename is, yeah. So I see that a lot in high schools, but not so much in college, right? Because we want to know who you are. But if you have a certain name, it's not your legal name, then feel free to change it. You can change it by hitting your name and the 3 dots on the upper right-hand side to open up rename, and then you can basically rename your account to your first name, your last name, or whatever name you'd like to be identified that in the class, okay? Because I know that can be an issue as well. And so feel free to kind of modify it accordingly, okay? So that we know who you are. If you want to check your video, you can join with video. I think everyone knows how to do it, but most times when you join with video, that's a little camera symbol. It opens up, you see your face. And so you can always check beforehand using your preferences, or sometimes if you're about to check in, it'll ask, do you want to join video? So join with video will basically give you a video preview of yourself. You can see yourself, check your lighting, whatever the case may be, check your backgrounds, and you can go from there, okay? You can get creative with your backgrounds if you want, as long as it's not offensive to anyone in the class. I saw some really interesting things seniors did in other colleges where they use their background and they add a QR code of their portfolio. So when they were doing interviews with other companies, most of these interviews today are on Zoom. And so as a benefit, what a lot of the students are doing is that they actually design their background like a business card, and they throw a QR code for the potential employer to scan. So if they say, hey, this is great, do you have a link of your work? It's like, oh yeah, if you scan my QR code, you can open up my page and you can see it. And I thought that was really creative for students that were looking for jobs in their interviews and wanted to stand out. Sometimes they use different backgrounds. Sometimes your background could be a distraction. So why not use it and design a background that actually informs, educates, and helps people connect to your site or to your work? Thought it was a brilliant idea. And so I started noticing a little bit of that in a lot of seniors that were graduating or graphic designers are about to graduate from college. So something to think about for the future. Your background can be a QR code, or it could be a background that you designed that you can showcase your work, or it could be a showcase of all different designs that people can see. And you can say, oh, these are some of the samples of my work behind me, and let's take a look at it. So a little tip there, okay? We won't worry about the waiting room. We won't worry about the setting up your audios. We talked about editing your names and turning off audios. Pretty much when you're done speaking, remember to mute your mic. And that's a little microphone that is showing up on the screen there. We talked about raising your hand. If you're writing something on the class annotations, we don't do too much annotations. I do. So we won't worry about the annotation. What is Annotate? It's basically a series of tools that allows you to draw on a teacher's screen. So if you have an Annotate button, then technically I can lock it or unlock it so that you guys can circle things on your work, add things here, add things there, things of that sort. So I use it a lot, and maybe we'll play around with it so that you get a chance to kind of showcase it if and when we get to that point, okay? So there's a little drawing feature inside of that. Sharing screens does typically happen. If we do get to the point where we share your designs, which is sharing your screen, then it's basically a button that says share. So if you see on Zoom, there should be a green button somewhere that says share. Don't press it. But basically when you hit that screen, it'll say, hey, I have all these windows that are open. One of those windows eventually will be your Adobe Illustrator program, and you'll share your Adobe Illustrator screen, and everyone can see what you see. Some of you guys are actually going to do that tonight for the name card. So if that's you, then you're going to hit the share button. It's going to give you a pop-up of different windows. Select the window that showcases your design, and you can share with the class and go that way. Okay, so that's a little feature there. And then of course, when you're done, you can stop sharing by clicking the same button, takes you back, and I have control again, okay? So just a couple things there just to kind of keep in mind when you're sharing your screen. And we'll do that for tonight, for a couple of you guys, Okay, obviously if you need to leave the meeting, there's a big red button that says leave meeting. So for whatever reason you need to leave, obviously leave. And if you want to give me a message saying you'll be right back, that's okay. Or if you leave and not come back, no worries. There is a recording, obviously, that we have. Okay. Basically, if there's any technical issues of any sort, you can always direct your questions towards me. But if I'm not available, or if you're in another class, feel free to use this link, which is the Rio Hondo help desk. And so I'll put that here. It's probably helpful to bookmark this at some point. But basically, the Rio Hondo, let me go there. Help desk is the site that we go to. Better hyperlink over. I didn't hyperlink. We'll get the hyperlink ready for you. Basically, and let me go ahead and pull it up. Basically, the link is designed to take you to a page. In fact, let's just go ahead and open it up, and you can send a support ticket to the Information Technology Help Desk. So basically, if there's any issues happening in the Rio Hondo system, you basically give a summary, description, and basically submit that ticket with, of course, you have to sign in to the system in order for that to be the case. But it's a really helpful way to kind of contact the front desk, ask any questions, issues, or concerns, and it's going to send an open ticket. So you click the little button here to open a technology request, and it's portal, actually. So there it goes. Enter your password and then your login information, and basically you can submit a ticket that way. Okay, there's some phone numbers on the upper right hand side here, main line, emails, but this link is helpful so that if you have any technical issues or concerns and I'm not around or it's another time of day, please feel free to use that link, bookmark it, and talk to the technical support team to help you out. Okay, so that way it kind of maximizes it, because you never know, it might be this class or another class that we might have some technical issues happening. Okay, so there's a little bit of that going on. All right, if that's making sense, you give me a little thumbs up emoji. That'll be helpful. And ultimately, again, we're just doing this. We're rolling out things a little bit slowly so we can give you the best setup, the best procedure to do things in the classroom and be effective. So we want to just use that time wisely. So feel free to use that. I'm going to adjust a couple of things on my computer here. And I'm going to also change a couple of settings as well so that we're all set up. Perfect. Pretty much 4 rules I have in the classroom. I have lots of procedures and ways of doing things. There's only 4 rules that I have. And rule number 1 is make sure that whatever you design in class, make sure that's the coolest thing on your screen, okay? Pure and simple. You know, you want everything that you create to be from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the coolest. You want this stuff to feel like 11, 12, 20, right? So it's a great way to kind of gauge your work, and it helps me also see what you see. So every time I see a piece of work and I scale it from 0 to 10, the student always knows the same score that I see. Oh, it looks like 8. Okay, that means you have to do a little bit more to get to 10. And so that's a really great way to measure success in the class. It's like, oh, from a scale of 1 to 10, if that's the coolest thing on your screen, if it's a 10, then you know you're in the right direction, okay? And so it's creative confidence at the end of the day. And if you feel like it's a 10, but I feel it's an 8, then obviously that's where the learning begins, right? It's like, oh, let me show you how we can get this to a 10 or higher. Here's how I would look at it. And so that's kind of my ultra simple gauge in that number 1 rule, okay? Rule number 2, come in with a desire to learn. You're here, you signed up, you're in college. This is your first semester. You know, hopefully you want to be here. You don't have to be here, or no one's forcing you to be here. But come in obviously with a curiosity, which I'm assuming you all do. And that's great. As long as you're curious, I'll try to engage and take it to the next step. So that's number 2, be curious. Everything we do as designers is a life of curiosity, I would say. We never stop learning. and we're always curious about just about anything visual, or anything that is motion related, just anything that involves the visual environment, whether it's motion or still. We're fascinated by this world, right? And sometimes it could be a little overwhelming, but either way, you're still curious, and you want to understand. Okay, seek to understand. Number 3, like I said, distraction-free environment means controlling your devices. This thing, well, I'll give you a movie. Watch a film on Netflix. It's on YouTube called The Social Dilemma. You will never use your phone the same way ever again. And if you have, good for you. But I'll just leave it at that. So if you're like, what is he talking about? Just watch The Social Dilemma, and you will not look at your phone quite the same way ever again. We'll just leave it at that. But basically, your device is a super addictive thing by design, and it is probably one of the worst things that we have done as designers, is that we have designed for addiction. And I have a lot of opinions about it, but at the end of the day, I feel like the work that we do should have some type of certification from the medical industry. And people go, what are you talking about? Anything that involves the potential to a large audience where it impacts them on a visual level. Put it this way. This is the first time in human history where a visual can be an addicting thing. Think about that for a second. Most things that are addictive are typically narcotics, substance, right? Aerosol, things of that sort. Like, we have designed visuals to be addicting to people based on the interaction of those visuals, right? So that's kind of interesting, right? So visuals, graphics can actually harm people, which means that the potential for good is high, but at the same time, it's actually more important than people think that it is. Does that make sense? So if it can do that much damage, then people should actually value it for what it is. We should have more doctors in this class, to be quite honest with you, and nurses taking these classes so that they understand, can you identify a person that may be addicted to their device and just endlessly scrolling? You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a relationship there. So I understand it can be a super engaging thing, but try to keep those electronic devices at bay. Put it on silent mode if you can. Try to activate contacts only. A little hack you can do is just set it up to receive only contacts, and then everything that is non-contact goes silent. Silent your notifications if you can, just for a time, or put on the do not disturb airplane mode, whatever it needs to be. If you can do those things to kind of limit your distraction from your device, all the better, okay? And so just a FYI there. And of course, number 4, of course, maintain a distraction-free area. And so if you can find a space that is peaceful, quiet, I wouldn't say good lighting, because since we're using our computers to design, you can actually, minimal lighting is preferred, right? So that you can see the images on your screen. Those are good, but find a place where there's less distraction and you'll be in good standing, okay? So wherever the case may be. So if you gotta go somewhere else, go somewhere obviously where it's safe. I always recommend outdoors. For that, because indoors you just don't know. If you gotta go to work, do that, that's fine, right? Wherever you gotta be to log in that's distraction free, then that's fine. And if you're at work, do it after work hours, okay? I don't want you to log in when you're working. So you should be working, okay? All right, consequences. Basically, we never get to these consequences because we always talk about the protocols early. But if it turns into something of a distraction, there is a warning. Warning is basically I send a quick message saying, hey, let's remember to stay on task, right? It is a discrete warning, right? I should put discrete warning in there. This number 2 thing is, at conference with students, if it becomes a distraction, obviously we'll have a one-on-one session. I'll email you, I'll send you a private message so we can talk after class, and just figure out what's going on, right? Sometimes students that are, having some difficulties or creating a distraction in the class is because they're having personal issues, and it's not anything that they're doing willingly. Sometimes it's just subconscious or unconscious, and that's okay. I would expect that coming out of a pandemic, so that's okay. Okay. It never gets to 3 or 4, but if it does get to 3 or 4, you know, we have a phone call with the Dean of Academic Affairs, and you know, and if that doesn't work, then it goes to referral to the Dean of Arts, Dr. Linsell. But I never get to 3 or 4, and rarely does it get to 2. Okay. So just a couple of things there just to keep you guys in mind, right? Final thoughts. You know, through a daily commitment to hard work, it is possible for the success of the, quote, average student to surpass that of a student who is, quote, naturally talented, okay? So do the best you can. Ask questions where things are a little confusing, and you will do that. You got this, and you will do the absolute best that you can do, okay? And you will be successful in this class, okay? Do the best that you can, roll with the punches, seek help when you need it, and you'll be surprised what you can accomplish in this class, which is a lot. And well, if you're here because someone recommended it to you, then that means they got something out of it, I hope. And I'm curious to know if someone did do that. You can give me a thumbs up emoji. If this class was recommended to you by someone or a friend or a former student of the class, maybe you can give me a little thumbs up emoji. I'm very curious, but chances are maybe not. It's just available in there and I'm not seeing anything, so that's cool. You're gonna recommend it anyway when you're done, so you'll get to enjoy it, okay? All right, beautiful. Okay, so thank you guys for just giving me your time. We're gonna jump into this name card design. So just out of curiosity, how many of you guys have it ready to go and you're ready to share it? You can give me a little thumbs up. Again, I gave you some pretty limited abilities, but we're basically gonna talk to everybody tonight, okay? We're gonna give you guys, you know, literally like a minute or 2 to kind of talk about it, but all we want to hear is just 2 simple things, okay? And you can write this down, right? You know, obviously your name, because, you know, not everybody reads the little title on the screen. And what brings you to the class, okay? You know, so totally fine. Share a little bit. I might ask you a little question or something to kind of like gauge interest and things like that. But when you do, just feel free to share your card. And it's like, hey everyone, my name's so-and-so, here's my card. You know, this is what brings me to the class, and here's my design, and here's a couple of things on my screen in case you know, can or cannot see it, okay? So we want to get a little bit of understanding on it there. What I hope to see is a reflection of your personality in the graphic, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes students say what they like and it shows up in the art. I'm pretty sure we'll see a little bit of that this evening. So I think we're ready to go. So if you guys are ready, I think we'll jump in on it. We'll start with volunteers. If you like to volunteer, type in your name in the chat, and then we'll go by order of the list there. So yeah, so Precious, for sure. But if you like to volunteer, you can type in your name in the chat and say, hey, I want to go and be one of the first folks, and then you can enter that. And then we'll kind of go there, okay? So far, Precious, we got Derek in there, Sylvia, great. Take a couple of minutes there and then we'll kind of see. And it'll be fun. Okay, James, you'll be going forth, sounds good. And perfect, okay. Very, very cool. And I should probably write this one down too, right? Yeah, probably gonna help. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. Thank you guys. This is awesome. Okay. Okay, and then Array, I think I saw a double because it was sent as a private message, so that's probably what's going on. So we'll get you in there. Great, thank you, appreciate it. Okay, cool. This is great, guys. All right, and then I'll just kind of go a little bit down the list, and then we'll kind of break it down that way, and they'll go for that. But thank you guys, I appreciate it. And if there's any technical issues or anything like that, we'll set you up and on it there. And so let's take a look. Yeah, if you need to go, James, go for it. I think it'll probably be a few minutes till we get to you there anyway, so that's totally fine. Okay. And then if you guys need to, thank you for bringing that. And if you need to hit the restroom, go. You don't have to ask, but just it's your house, right? Again, this is one of those classroom things on Zoom. It's like, if you got to go, just let me know, you'll be back. And just say, hey, I'll be right back. Okay. So if you gotta go, you do not have to ask permission. I know some teachers are like, you need to ask me permission. It's like to go to the bathroom of your own house. Go. Okay. Like just go. You don't have to ask. All right. Very cool. All right, guys. Beautiful. All right, great. So let me go ahead and stop sharing, and we will jump in onto it, and we'll be ready to begin. So let's start off with Precious. Okay. And I see you there. And there you are. Okay. And hopefully we can hear you, Precious. Can you hear us?
Yes. Can
okay,
you
perfect.
hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
So let's go
I
ahead and
need
spotlight.
to share my screen because I did mine digitally. If that's okay?
Yes, I've just activated multiple participants. So you should be able to share now. So that's great. Welcome to the class.
Thank you. Hold on, I'm trying. This is a new laptop, so I don't really know how to use it.
No worries. Are you using the downloaded app or the browser, the Chrome or Safari?
The downloaded app of.
So there should be a green button underneath my picture, your picture, or the class picture that says share screen.
Okay.
And when you click onto that, there should be a window that pops up that shows you a bunch of other windows. And one of them should be your design.
Okay.
And when you click onto that, it should jump to your screen once you hit the share screen. So
I found it.
Great. Sometimes if it's minimized, it does not show. So you might have to expand it or maximize it in order for it to show. So
I have to give myself permission.
Oh, because it's a new computer. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's circle back around. I totally understand what's going on there. You have to enter your passcode and everything of that sort, right?
Yeah.
And then give Zoom permission to access.
Yeah,
right?
and then I have to leave and then come back.
Okay, totally fine. We'll come back. Okay. So I'll write your name there, but this is good. So for those of us that are using a new computer and you're sharing, there might be a question to do that on your computer. So be ready for a restart, guys. If that's the case, okay?
So I have to leave
Cool.
the thing now.
No worries. So we'll circle back around. I'll put your name on the list there and then we'll see you. Okay, that's good. We're learning here. Okay, so let's go ahead to Derek. So Derek, let's take a look at the gallery here. And there you are, Derek. I'm gonna spotlight you. So can you hear us, Derek? And
yes, I can.
Perfect. All right, man. So welcome to the class, and let's take a look at your design. Is it the card or the digital?
I drew this, and here, hopefully it has good lighting. Oh, it's backwards. Oh, that's a shame.
We could see it. I think everyone can see it up, and then for you, it's backwards. For us, we can see it.
All right, cool.
All right.
Okay, so this is the design. I went for a black and white. Cool. I tried to do a gradient between dark on this side with light, with it being white inside the lettering, slowly going into a white background with dark lettering.
Okay, very cool. I like the gradation feel, and I kind of like how you did kind of play with your lettering there. So that's cool. The U and the K kind of have a little bit of a over type kind of feel to it, overline, kind of logo-y in a way. So that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, and tell us a little bit about yourself. What brings you to the class?
Well, I remember in high school I took a course for graphic design, and it showed us introductions to Photoshop and Illustrator, just a little bit. And I definitely liked Photoshop. I don't know, I just liked Photoshop a little bit more, but Illustrator was certainly fun. And I just thought to myself, well, I don't know if I should just choose. So I'm just taking multiple classes to
Very
learn
cool.
different things. Yeah.
Now, are you a first semester student or are you second semester? I know
I'm
there's a few of
a
us.
third, and I started like dabbling with the classes of Adobe my second year.
Very cool.
Yes.
Okay. So so you got to explore a little bit of design in high school, you liked the experience, and now you kind of want to explore that a little bit. Is it for career or is it going to be for more
Yes,
hobby?
career.
Okay, very cool. Okay. Well, this is great. I'm excited. Hopefully you've had a positive, well, you know, as best of an experience online.
Oh, it's
'Cause-
been great so far. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, because we have students that are literally taking their almost 2 years Rio via online. And so this is a very unique group. You are part of a unique group of students that basically are doing like online for 2 years, almost 2 years straight.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's been a positive experience. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're taking this seriously. So this is really cool, and you're going to explore it as a career option. So very cool, man. Welcome to the class. See, simple as that.
Thank you,
All
Professor.
right. Appreciate it. Thanks, Derek. All right, cool. So simple as that, guys. We're just getting a feel and just getting to know everyone in the class. Okay. Okay. Let's go down the list. I should have a little sign up list there, but it's okay. I'll scroll back up and down. Sylvia, I think we have you on the list here. So let's see. We see you. So can you hear
Hello.
us?
Yes.
There you are. Okay, Sylvia. Well, welcome to the class. So did you do digital or did you do a hand-drawn one? For your name
I
tag?
did a digital one.
Hey, cool. Right on.
Is it? Yeah.
We can see it. All right, very cool. And this is cool. I like the colors. I like how you built it. And
Thank you.
tell us a little bit about yourself. What brings you to the class?
Well, I'm majoring in animation, and in my free time, I like to do digital art.
Mhm.
And you know, I just really like learning about like how to do a lot of things digitally. And since this was recommended for my G and my major, I decided to check it out,
Mhm.
and it's been great.
That's awesome. And so for animation, animation is the primary focus, and then you want to get into that field and do films, like, what's like the goal? Is it like a Pixar Disney goal or designing your own films, having your own studio? I'm curious where you want to take your animations in the future.
I guess like a studio, work a part of a studio ish would be like how do you say it? The best outcome. But if not, then independent work and see how I can build up from there.
Awesome. Okay. And what year are you? Is this your first semester, second semester, third semester? Second year,
This is my
third year?
third year at Rio Honda, but this is my
Awesome.
first time taking a graphic design class.
Very cool. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the class. And yeah, if you have any animations, feel free to. You can always share it at any point in the class. Curious to see some of the creations that you've made. But yeah, animation, graphic design is a big part of animation, simply because you can design layouts using, your principles of design, and pretty much all major studios use some level of graphic design in the setting of a layout, whether it's character, off-center, focal point, asymmetrical balance, right? Or just color theory being applied to a setting, right? And so you see a lot of those principles being played, and I think Pixar does a really good job of that. John Lasseter, that founded Disney, specifically says that graphic design is a big factor in designing their storyboards, because it does lead to how the settings created in the animations, right? And color and things like that. So it's it's fascinating. And so that world, and so I'm glad you're here and you're participating and you've got through it. So thanks for sharing. Very cool. All right, simple as that. Okay. So very cool stuff. And thank you for the comments too, guys. It's always I always encourage any type of positive remarks. So thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. So on to James. So James, welcome to the class. I know we tested your tech earlier today, so I'm pretty much sure we're going to see something of a screen over your image.
Yep.
and get some interesting dynamics going on. So let me spotlight you for everybody. And
All right.
you are asymmetrically balanced and off the center, which is a positive thing of graphic design. And I'm sure that was intended for the design, which is going to go on the
Yes,
upper
indeed.
left, right?
Yep. So hi everyone. My name is James Long. I am actually this is my third fall semester. So this is pretty much my third. I'm back at Rio Hondo. I actually have originally been wanting to take this class because I originally was going to go into animation for video game design, but because of the pandemic hitting me, I actually decided to switch majors due to me not being able to keep up with the animation classes, sadly. And I actually decided to go with graphic design, and I've been having a lot more fun with it. So here's actually my card, and you'll be seeing what. So, hold on a second. Whoops. Let me see. I'm on the wrong scene, but let me double. All right, here we go.
Okay. I knew this was going to be good.
Here's my. So yeah, this is my card I made. I did it digitally, and as you can see, I tried my best with what I got. I have a gradient in below. Oh, right here where it goes from green right here all the way to red, and of course I added 3 characters in here. So like as you see, like on right here where it is on my I guess my left shoulder when I was taking this picture, but it technically is on the right. That's Natsu Dragneel from my favorite anime, Fairy Tail. On my left shoulder, it's actually my favorite character in the game Genshin Impact, which is Beto. I have like on the far left of it, below that is like Bowser, who's my main character I play as, and when I play competitively in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then you can see my name is in blue, and there's like it's very faint, and I kind of regret doing this, but like it was actually like supposed to be a drop shadow of it being a light blue color, as if I was actually having some water in this container, and then basically had a shadow drop into it. And you can see that there's also a controller on there. That's actually because this is my main controller I use for when I play traditional fighting games, and that's what I mainly would be using. It's an Xbox controller, and I actually do play competitively in a lot of other fighting games besides just Smash Bros. And I have been having fun. And you can see also there is a logo, like there's 2 logos. One logo here is basically the platform I usually stream on, which is why I have tournament stream coordinator, because that's one of the things I usually would do on my own with some other people. And I have been actually doing tournament streams for quite a while. Oh, and you can see that on above that is just the logo of the tournament series that I usually would help run with some friends.
Very cool. So, it sounds like we're going to be using your skills to basically improve your brand, improve your visuals throughout. Is this a career goal that you want to do? Is this just a very serious hobby? Where do you want to take it? Like, is it graphic design, or is it more like a incorporation of 2 worlds, perhaps?
In both incorporation of 2 worlds. Like I love doing the graphic design because when I actually have tournaments going on, I actually would be using my own graphics that I make, like this, for example. Like obviously this is like not the best hit, like compared to like what Sylvia has presented, which I'm extremely jealous about, because like she presented it so much more cleanly and nicely, where here I just made it look like it's a bunch of random stuff all thrown all over, and there's like no pattern whatsoever. Or that's what I feel like.
Well, it's not bad actually. I mean, you have good things happening, and there's some principles at play, right? There might be some echoing or art style echoes that are maybe a little bit misaligned, but overall I think you got something going, and you have some elements that are playing a part. And so yeah, I think you'll benefit a lot in this class. I think you'll definitely get a lot more focus in terms of style and art, and you'll just know how to be a better designer overall. And yeah, we've had a lot of students come through the classes that are, it's interesting. Streaming has become its own economy, where students have been given a lot of interesting opportunities building YouTube brands, or YouTubers needing updates on their logos, and now it's going into streaming and gaming. That's become a competitive sport. So e-gaming obviously is, I compare like e-gaming to like sports and major league sports, basically. They have design, they have people that are in those fields branding and creating products off those brands. And almost certain is going to be in a similar format, but probably in the digital realm, right? So whereas
Yeah.
folks are basically, you know, you have a designer that does the branding and maybe products that you buy at the stadium. The equivalent, I'm guesstimating it for e-gaming, for the e-gaming industry is, again, branding to digital products that you put into a game to purchasing of the game on or signing up for subscription streaming, basically the same as a major league sport, but a digital stream version of that. So I see those industries being similar, but very unique in their own sense. So you never know. I've heard of studios that do specific things for e-gaming and like big competitors that like they get paid. I don't even know, like what some of these grand prizes are in the hundreds of thousands and potentially up into $1 million mark. Am I right there?
Yeah,
Okay.
so like the competitive, like for example, games that are like multiplayer arena, like multiplayer online battle arenas such as League of Legends or Dota, they actually have prize pools that reach into the $1 million, and sometimes they would exceed to billions too. And later on down the line, there's going to be exponentially growing. Like they have prediction numbers, and they're showing that the prediction numbers are going to be much higher than like any of the sports that are common, like NFL, Major League Baseball, like stuff like that. But like the fighting game world actually has been getting smaller prize pools. It's not like it's in the millions. It's more like in like 500,000 at most, like from what I've seen.
Well, only.
So yeah, but still growing indefinitely. And that's what
But
I've been. Go ahead.
no, but I'm saying like, but imagine if you could get access to that and
Exactly.
be the designer for that and charge a percentage of that, right?
Yeah.
There's money to be made in this field, and as long as there's an audience, a big one, there's definitely a financial component to be made. So it's an interesting field, and I think we'll definitely explore that with you in the class. And I think as we move forward, I think you're going to find some really great opportunities on how you can maximize your brand, your reach, and ultimately your design and your style in the class. So yeah, we're happy to have you. And so
Yeah.
thanks for sharing, and looks great. So
Yeah.
got
Thank you
good
so much.
presentation. I got to up my presentation now.
Yeah.
I need OBS. So
Yeah,
good stuff.
I can teach you some stuff too if you want me to, like off street, like off this like off the classroom, or I could teach the whole class if they were really wanted to as well.
We'll definitely work on a workshop. How about that?
Yeah, that
We'll
sounds
do
like
some
fun.
pre and post class hours to set it
That
up.
sounds like fun. Yeah,
Very cool. All
sounds
right.
good.
Welcome to the class, James. And thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much. You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. All right. So next up is Danielle.
Hello.
So welcome, Danielle. Thank you for your patience. And we see your card there. All right. Very cool. I see some really cool things happening here. So tell us a little bit about your card.
It has lots of plants because I'm like obsessed with my plants. I love to propagate, just watch them grow. My collection's got a little out of control, but I love them. What else do I have? Lots of my hobbies. So I love to create art, paint, draw. This is supposed to be a mosaic, but you can't tell. I like to mosaic, crochet. That's a little cup of coffee, ceramics. As just past summer, I learned to make ceramics, yoga. And then I have 3 books, cooking, nature, and psychology. Just like to explore why people do the things they do, thought process, just overall the human element. But that's what I got there.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Awesome. And so, and what brings you to the class? Is this a like an exploration class, requirements, fun?
Actually, I forgot the checkerboard. So that's part of it too. So the checkerboard, it represents what I have been doing for the past 15 years, which is I worked for Vans. I was a store manager for about 8 years with Vans, but I was with them for 15. So I just recently left them. I wanted to just find a new career. So I'm doing career exploration. I'm really into art. So I'm just kind of trying to add more skills to that and maybe pursue, digital creating. So
Awesome. So Vans is just an amazing brand, right? It's very popular. The logo and the products and everything are really graphic, of course, and branding, things like that. So this is cool because did you get exposure to like that whole process, or in a little bit of behind the scenes, more or less, or more of the retail side, would you say?
Some of it, some of the like product development. Vans had leadership summits, like yearly leadership summits. So there was a lot of like, I guess, focus on brand, but also just development of like leadership skills too. But so not a whole lot.
Well, it sounds like you definitely have like a lot of interesting like directions, and I don't know why I feel like I mean, user experience, UX, UI. I've mentioned it before briefly, where like graphic design is going into an interesting place where it's sort of evolving from paper, which still exists, to web, which still exists, to now this sort of interaction. So UI, user experience, pretty much the design of interfaces. There's like a social and psychological component to that. And so there's some interesting things that are like that a lot of designers are going into. So I'll try to see if maybe we can invite a couple of guests into the class. There's a friend of mine who is a UX UI designer that went from graphic design to UX UI because she liked the social and the psychological component to it, and sort of like case studies and things of that sort. And then she started working as kind of like a design researcher for .com companies. So like eHarmony, I think, was one. And last I heard, she was trying to sign up for Facebook or work for Facebook. But she learned it all through community college, and so she actually picked it up through, I think, Santa Monica College. They have a pretty good UX UI bachelor's program on it there. So it's some cool stuff happening. Mm-hmm.
That sounds great. Yeah, I would love to have her as a guest and hear all about it for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely work on that. And we do that. And I do work on that in the class. We try to get at least one guest speaker in my classes per semester to kind of talk to the class about design in different fields. So I'm looking forward to having her. Hey, you are a talent. I can tell you have a lot of things happening and a lot of plans and a lot of things. So I feel like you're going to be a wealth of knowledge. And so, yeah. And is there like a certain style that you typically like visually or graphically? I have a sense that maybe there's something out there.
I'm kind of all over the place. Like sometimes I'm very like cutesy art, and then sometimes it's a little dark and distorted and weird. So
that's totally fine. That's you're curious about all the different genres. Okay, well, welcome to the class. Thanks for sharing, and it looks great. So
thank you.
You did well. Thank you. All right, very cool. All right, guys. Let's keep going. Actually, we're at the top of the hour. So do we want to take a quick 5-minute break before we continue there, or do we want to keep on going? Maybe we can take a vote. How many of you guys just show a thumbs, want to do a 5-minute break right now? Give me a thumbs up emoji. We shall see. Like one. Okay. All right. How many of you guys want to keep going? Power through. Maybe finish a couple minutes early today. You can give me a little thumbs up emoji there. All right, cool. Let's power through. All right, let's keep it going. All right, so next up is Laker. So Laker, let's see if I could, do I see you here somewhere, Laker, or do we lose you? I don't see him, so, oh, there you are, okay. I was on my gallery view. Okay, Laker, can you hear us?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Welcome. All right, Laker, and am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Laker?
Yes, L-A-K-R, Laker.
Okay, Laker, welcome to the class. Let's take a look at your name card and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Oh, my name is Michael Wang. I'm 19 years old. I'm in second year in college.
Awesome. Okay, and Laker is second year in college. Are you taking the class for fun, for career, as a career requirement? What's your career goal, let's say?
I want to be a cartoonist because I like to draw.
Wonderful. And a cartoonist, meaning you like to create your own animations one day, or more two-dimensional drawings, illustrations, things of that sort for print?
Both.
Awesome. Okay. And I see, tell us a little about this design. What do we see happening here?
This is the name card. So this is the first name is myself of my drawing. And the last name, it was the picture of the young Swedish girl.
Very cool. And in the background, is this looks like Europe in some way, or is it just an interesting image that you found on online?
I found in the internet.
Very cool. Okay. And these are your drawings, correct?
Yes,
Awesome.
5 of them, G and my first name.
Okay. Well, that's awesome that you want to be a cartoonist. This class obviously will talk about how to take your drawings and make them into digital illustrations. So we'll cover like pen tool, how to use the pen tool to draw basic drawings and more complex ones at that. And it looks like you have some Photoshop experience too. So that's great. So I look forward to enhancing your skill set and applying some of the digital illustrations to your career and advance you forward. So this is great. All right. Well, welcome. And thanks for sharing. Okay, Laker?
Okay.
Awesome. Well done. Okay, very cool. All right, guys. Let's keep going. We'll move on to Connor. So Connor, welcome to the class, sir. Let me see. Put a little spotlight there on you. And,
Okay.
oh, let me take off. There you go. So, so do we have digital or a drawing tonight of your name card?
Actually, I went with construction paper. I don't know if you can see that. I did a little beach setting there because I love the ocean.
Awesome.
Also, too, I went to college back at UC Irvine. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in 2017. And it was a big part of my life. I wrote this to you, Professor. I was the mascot for the school there for 3 years, Peter the Anteater, which actually kind of led to my current career right now, working in sports media design, which is the reason why I'm here right now. I'm trying to improve on my design skills. I didn't really have a formal education when it comes to the arts. I was actually an economics degree back in college.
Oh, wow. So you've had a really interesting experience. So, so where was the spark, would you say? Like, was it, did we get experience with the arts in high school, or was it just a series of explorations throughout college?
You know, when I was younger, I used to stay with my grandfather a lot, and he was a big into painting. So I saw a lot of his work around the house, and he would always give me, you know, pieces of printer paper just to like draw and sketch on. So I knew there was an artistic like hobby there that I had. I didn't know I could really make a career out of it. When I went to college, I kind of had different aspirations. And then, as I mentioned, when I was doing my mascotting gig, I fell into an internship that kind of got me into, you know, media. And then currently now, I'm working a lot with graphic design, and I noticed a lot of my coworkers were, you know, much more talented. They, you know, were very good at Photoshop. They were very good at illustrating, and I kind of felt, well, I could work with these people. So, you know, that's why I'm here, basically.
That's awesome. Well, I definitely know the feeling.
Yeah.
It's I think I can help, and I think I can set you up for some success. Hopefully, you're taking a Photoshop class, I'm assuming, or with Professor Gardos or Professor Holden, perhaps.
With Holden last semester.
Oh,
last
okay.
spring.
Awesome. Okay, and so yeah, I think we can add some value to your skill set, and have you seeing things a little bit more clearly. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things, and I think it'll help. I know there's a couple of us in the class that have like an interest in business, and so there are those that are interested. There are those that want to start their own businesses, and I do kind of throw in a little bit of the value-based features, pricing, economics, a little bit of the business side, as it were. And so hopefully we can make those connections as well, and maybe we can get some reinforcement on your side and things of that sort. So I'm excited. I think it's great, and I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend of like more folks in different fields coming to us and trying it out. So yeah, and I think I've also heard that we are the only school that does night graphic design classes for some reason. Like I don't think anybody else does, online at least, and I think we're one of the few schools that do. And so I kind of thought that was an interesting little fact that a few students have mentioned. But either way, I think welcome to the class. I'm happy you're here, and I think you're going to get some value out of it, and it'll be fun. So thanks for sharing. Very cool.
Thank you so much.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
No, not a problem. All right, this is great. Let's keep it going, man. There's so many interesting backgrounds. I could talk all night to you guys. All right, let's see. We are with
Nydia.
Nydia. There you are. All right, Nydia, welcome to the class. And are you? What semester are you? First, second, third?
First.
Oh, is it? Oh, you're my recent high school graduate, huh? Or one of the few. Okay. All right. Well, how many classes you taking?
4 right now.
4? Are you working full time or part time?
I think it's full time. No, I'm not working.
Okay, don't work full time. Don't say that. You want to work part time.
I was
Okay.
trying to get a job, but it's hard finding a job right now.
Good. Okay. Well, if you can hold, great. And if you're gonna work part time, all right, full time college, part time work. Just throwing it out there. All right. So, Nydia, so let's take a look at your name card and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So here's
right.
I drew like a bunch of symbols and like rainbow right here. And this is my name, Nydia. And then for the symbols, I just drew like all the stuff that I like basically and like things about me. So right here is the like a game logo, Breath of the Wild. It's from that, and I really like playing that game a lot. And this is the Nintendo Switch like logo because that's like the only console I have. I don't have a PlayStation or anything like that. This is the only console that I have to play on, but I do like it. Right here I drew a little rabbit because bunnies and all that are my favorite animal. And then I drew a rose for my last name because my last name is Rosales. Right here, I drew the country of Guatemala, like the shape of it and the flag, because I am Guatemalan.
There you go. Cool.
Bottom, I drew the Disney logo because I really love Disney movies and like Pixar and all those movies I grew up watching. Right here, cool. That Roblox logo. I don't know if you ever heard of that game.
Oh, I'm playing a lot with my 5-year-old, believe it or not.
I play with friends, and my niece and my nephews always call me. They're always calling me on Skype. They're like, "Oh, you want to play Roblox? You want to play Roblox?" Always annoying me to play Roblox with them. And I put these little musical notes right here that I like to listen to different types of music. I don't really listen to any like specific genres, just any kind that I find like. Right here, I drew like a little drawing tablet because I do have one. And I usually draw like either on my tablet, on my iPad, or on my computer. I have like an actual drawing tablet for my laptop.
That's awesome.
Here, this is also another game called Super Smash Brothers. I also drew the logo. It's also for the Switch.
Awesome. Well, man, you got a lot of things going on. Hopefully we're not staying up till like 4 a.m, but gaming. But no, this is great. So then first semester, right? Like you're here, you're taking graphic design. Is this like career? Is this like the career? Is this for fun? What are you thinking about?
Hoping to do like a career in it, maybe make logos or something for like companies and stuff. Because in high school I was taking computer graphics for I believe like 2 or 3 years.
Okay, very cool. And what school were you coming from actually?
Bell Gardens High School.
Bell Gardens. Okay, very cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm happy you're here. I hope that your classes have been positive so far that you're starting. And you basically graduated on Zoom. So now you're starting college on Zoom. So it's kind of a continuation a little bit, which is interesting. I'm curious, what has been like the biggest difference from like Zooming in college versus Zooming in high school? Is there like a big difference?
Well, the difference I noticed is that in college, you only have class like either once or twice a week. Whereas in high school, you have it every day almost.
Oh, yeah. So you got that free time a little bit, huh?
Yeah, you have like a lot more free time and stuff. Like you don't have to meet up at the Zoom every single day almost.
Okay. So then, hopefully during that time, you're practicing, you're drawing, you're putting in a little bit of that. You want to start developing those habits now, and we'll cover that in the days to come and things like that. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'm happy that you're here. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this class. Are you taking Photoshop too? One of the Photoshop classes?
No.
Oh, okay. So this is the graphic design class plus any other graphic design classes, or this one plus your general education classes? Would you say?
Mostly general education. I'm taking English and geology and also animation right now.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. If you need anything, obviously you can reach out. Let me know. Okay. And and obviously, I teach high school, so I know it's a transition. But if there's any questions that you might need or just anything, just let me know. We're here to help. All your teachers are here to help you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Very cool. All right. Keeping it going, guys. These are great, guys. And then I love the positive comments that are coming in too. Okay, I saw like 55 positive remarks, and I'm like going down the list here. Okay, who do we got next? We had Nydia, right? And then let me see if I'm pronouncing the name. Is it Kaiser?
Kaiser.
Kaiser. Okay, Kaiser. Thank you. Well, welcome to the class. How's the camera? Do we have any camera ability?
Is it there?
There you are. Yeah, I
Right.
see you, sir. Cool. All right, man. Well, welcome to the class, and let's take a look at your. Is it name card digital? Did you do?
It's digital, but mine is also a new laptop, so it might not work. We'll have to see.
Okay, let's give it a shot. If it asks for the authorization, then we'll probably enter passwords and we'll kind of shoot.
There you go.
Cool. Right on, man. All right, Kaiser. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the design of your name card.
All right. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so that's kind of where I went with this. And I did my name in the Star Wars font, and then I did my name in the Star Wars language called Arabic in the top and bottom.
Very, very cool. And Kaiser, are you first semester, second, third, second, third
This
year?
is my first semester.
So this is your first semester of college ever?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. And so you just graduated high school. What high school were you coming from?
I'm coming from Whittier High School.
Whittier High. There you go. All right, not too far from here. And are you thinking about this as a career path or for fun?
I want to use the skills I learned here in my career because I want to make comics, but I want to make comics traditionally. So I'll draw them on paper, but then put them into AI so that I can do the outlines and the coloring and all that stuff, rather than do that on paper.
Okay, well, we do. That's one of the exact projects we do with the Mickey Mouse project, where we learn how to trace production ready art, and so you'll get that when we hit the T-shirt project for sure. Well, technically earlier, but the T-shirt project will be the more like professional, in-depth version of that. Okay. And so Whittier High School, did you take classes there? Is this something you'd be kind of doing for fun on the side, or were you taking some of the classes on campus?
I took 2 graphic design classes at Whittier.
Very cool.
First year I learned AI, and then the second year I learned Photoshop. Okay,
awesome. Okay. And so you have some experience in that area, and you just want to deepen the learning, take it further, and create your own comics and publish them and make a career out of it, which is very possible, and a lot of great opportunities there. Okay, very cool. Biggest difference from college Zooming versus high school Zooming, what would you say that would be?
The amount of time spending on Zoom for each class.
Yeah, you're used to like 45 minutes to an hour, right? Versus like 3 hours in Zooming here, right?
I'm still getting used to the 3 hours.
Okay. Well, we'll try to do more breaks, but it'll take some time. So this is great. Love how you built it, putting in your efforts there. Welcome to the class, man, and I'm happy that you're here. So if you need anything, obviously your first semester, any issues, questions, whatever the case may be, let me know. Okay. All your teachers are here to help you, and we want to make sure that you're set up for success, and that that's all in how you start. So strong start is a good indication of finishing strong too. So.
All right.
Right on, man. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, looks good. Okay. All right. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's go to Adriana. So, I hit my immersive button here. Let's see, Adriana, there you are.
Hi.
Okay, great. So welcome to the class, Adriana. You might need to lower the volume a little bit, hopefully, but I don't think there won't be too much echo. But
is that good?
Yeah, it sounds great. And tell us a little bit about yourself and your name card, or if you have a drawing or a digital version of it. So welcome.
It's a traditional one. My name is Adriana, and the way I did it was that the letters are overlapping because my interests, my hobbies, and everything about me sort of overlaps itself. On the first one, I did like, I don't know if you can see well, but I did like rainbows and unicorns and butterflies and bunnies because I love all of those things, and it's just one of my favorite things from when I was growing up. And then on the next one, I did blood, guts, and gore. I love serial killer documentaries. I used to read creepypastas a lot. I love Criminal Minds, and scary movies. There are some people who can't go to sleep after watching a scary movie. I am the ones who can go to sleep after a scary movie. On the other one, I did anime because it's also a really big part of my personality. I am a total weeb and I love all types of animes. I'll see romance animes. And then I did, you can't really see it well, but on this one, there's a bunch of like creative stuff I like to do because I consider myself really, really creative. I've done, for a while I was in engineering, and I feel like that's creative because we did like robots and stuff, and that was so much fun. And I'm recently getting into like sewing and fashion and stuff like that. I love painting. I love drawing. I did dance for a while. I did hip hop dance, and I also did. I was a flute in the band. I also played the mellophone. So yeah, and then
a lot of great experiences. That's awesome.
for the other one, I did music. I love all types of music. I love musical theater. I love rock. I love K-pop. I love pop. I love country music. I like some country music. I love jazz. I love everything. And then I did a bunch of superheroes, and I am a total nerd. I love Batman. I love Superman. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love Star Wars. I love The Lord of the Rings. My dad is the one who really got me into all that stuff. And this one, I did hair color because right now it's like a lavender. I don't know if you can see it well, but I've done red, I've done blue, I've done like a blonde. I did a bright neon pink. That was my favorite because my favorite color is pink. I've also done a gray and a purple. I have yet to do an orange or a green, but I'm working on that. And then some words over here I put are family, friends, pets, and art because those are my most important things to me. Like I have my little, I have her with me right now, my emotional support one. She's not actually, she's just crazy. But my family is really important to me. Growing up Mexican, family is a really big part of the culture, and I would not be myself without any of my family. And my friends, I love my friends, even though I have like 2 friends, but I love them to death, and they are the best. And then my pets, I have this one, which is a Yorkie pug mix, I believe. And then I also have a husky, but he's downstairs and I don't want to bring him up. And then art is just super important to me. It is one of the biggest things about my personality. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow, that's awesome. There's a lot of love coming out from Adriana. That's awesome. Well, you are a creator in every sense of the word. So out of all these things, is graphic design one of many things in your plan, or is it a trial run in the field?
Graphic design is something that I feel like I can do because although I do want to work like an office job or something, I also want to do commissions with graphic design. I did, I can't find my phone, but I did some logos for my parents' business and for my sister's business, and I really enjoy doing that, and I feel like if I'm able to do that as a career, I would be able to do it well. But then I also want to be able to, once I get enough money, I want to like branch out and go into like beauty school or a fashion school or a all-out art school, so I can be like an artist.
That's awesome. Well, you have a lot of potential. I think you're gonna reach anything you put you've done a lot. I mean, like you've tried, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things I'm noticing is that you're just not afraid to try it. A lot of different fields, and you've been in engineering as well. And so yeah, that's an amazing. You have an awesome mind, and I think you're gonna get a lot of value in this class. I think it's gonna be some really cool designs coming from you. Is this first year for first semester, second, third year?
Yeah, it's my first semester. I just got out of high school.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is like you're new. You're all in. So that's awesome. What's been the biggest difference you would say so far? Is it the hours, the time, anything else that comes to mind?
It's the work because I couldn't keep up with my high school, so I went into a continuation school, and that one it wasn't as much work. But right now I'm going in and I have like five assignments already due by the first day of school, which it was hard to keep up at first, but I'm like slowly starting to get it.
Okay, well then, when we do habits, that'll be a good content for you to cover. But definitely, you know, talk with your counselors. You know, if you're working part-time work or less than that. Okay, and then managing that time. So you'll get into it. You'll get into the swing, just one step at a time. Okay, but it looks great. I love your graphic, and I just feel like it's going to be really positive experience for you. So welcome to the class, and we're happy you're here. So. Yeah, very cute dog too. So like,
thank you.
All right, very cool. All right, man, this is great. I always like these like beginning of the semester like introductions. They're always fun. All right, let's keep it going, guys. Let's go with Alexa. So Alexa, welcome to the class. I know you just kind of recently added. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll take a look at your design too, but welcome.
Hello, my name is Alexa. I am totally new to the digital art community. I have no knowledge. I have downloaded Adobe Creative Cloud.
Sorry, I don't know.
Oh God, here we go. Sorry, I unplugged my speaker.
No worries.
Yeah, I downloaded Adobe Creative Cloud and I was like watching some YouTube videos to try to teach myself, but I need help.
No worries. In your creation, how did you create your name card? And let's take a peek.
Yeah, so I kind of just like drew this. That's the beach, and that's me like laying down on a chair and just working on stuff. I'm always constantly working, creating. Yeah, so like the hope for the end of this class would be to be able to like create my own logos. I'm in the works of like starting this new project that maybe we could like talk about in the future if it comes up, whatnot. But I've started to like draw designs, and I need to learn how to create a digital version of it so I could like start moving forward and get stuff printed and whatnot. But
very cool. And I do recall saying you had a little bit of business experience, or you just finished getting some certificates in business. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of merging the two worlds, and that's common. As we saw in the class, we have a few folks that are kind of mixing fields or transitioning into new positions and learning other things, and they're just upping their skills.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely cover that in this class. You're positive, you're great, and so we're really happy to have you. And we'll get you added to the class too, because I know we're going through that code. So definitely like the beach, and you definitely have some projects that you have cooking, and you just want to grow that and turn it into this vision that you have in mind. And so that's where we're going with that.
Totally, yeah, that's the goal. So we'll
cool.
See.
Yeah, no, it'll be there. It'll happen for sure. And we're happy you're here. And thanks for joining the class. And it looks great. So we'll keep it going. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, very cool. All right, guys, this is so cool. See, and we all have similar things that we want to do, right? Sometimes we feel like we're the only ones, and in reality, we're more connected than we think. Kat, I see you here on the list, so let's go to Kat next. Kat, there you are. Okay, so Kat, welcome to the class. Did you do digital? Did you go traditional handmade? What did we create?
So I went handmade. I could have done it digitally, but I have no space on my computer right now. I'm like in the process of cleaning everything out. So here's mine.
Cool. Little 70s vibe there, I see.
Yeah. So my name's Catherine, but I've gone by Cat for like a while now. So yeah, that's my thing.
Very cool. And what brings you to the class? Are you first semester, second, third, first, second, third year?
I'm first semester. Yeah. And
Oh,
yeah, so I'm like really into the 70s, like that really shows in just like the way I dress and like my photography and stuff. So yeah, that's the reason what brings me to the class is that I just want to like be able to incorporate graphic design into my photography. I've done it in the past, but like I was mostly winging it the whole time. So it would just be nice to just, you know, get a good, I don't know, understanding. So
awesome. Well, do you have your own digital camera, or are you kind of working that up right now?
yeah, I do both digital and film. I've done it for a while. I mostly take either portraits or I take photos like at gigs. So I have like a lot of friends who are in bands, and so I go to the venues and I take photos for them. So yeah, I just want to like just get into just adding more, I guess, graphic design elements. Like I have a photo here or a couple photos where I just winged it, and because I've been using Photoshop for a while, but I mostly taught myself and I never like, you know, went in and just like learned the whole thing. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So you've done a lot of work, and you put in, and you've done bands and events, and you just kind of want to increase that in the area of illustration. So you kind of want to incorporate graphic design in your photography. And is that like sort of multimedia elements and things like that within your designs? Like you want to add drawings working into the photograph, so to speak?
Yeah, because photography is just like a side gig. Like it's just a hobby of mine. I don't think I'd ever want to turn it into like my career, or else I feel like I'd learn to like just hate it. But I definitely want to turn towards graphic design, but I just don't know which route yet. So I'm just gonna start here and see where it goes. But yeah, I definitely do like mixed media because I'm getting into like tattooing, and then I'm also like getting into this. So I'm just seeing where I'm going with it.
That's awesome. Okay, that's awesome. And so, okay, great. And what high school you're coming from that you just graduated from?
Oh, I came from Montebello High School.
Montebello. Okay. And so, so we'll talk a little bit more about like the night classes and things like that, and how you found us and things of that sort. But hey, we're happy you're here. And I kind of picked up the 70s vibe, and I was like, oh, they totally match his style. And so this is a good example of that, of the image of the card matching your personality. So that's cool. Well, I'm happy you're here. Definitely good. We're definitely going to talk about the elements of design. That's like one complete unit, and you'll learn how how designers typically see design. You'll get a lot of value from it. So, you just have a good, strong start of your first semester, and I think you're going to like it. So, welcome to the class. Happy you're here. All right, very cool. All right, guys, this is very awesome. Let's take a look. Let's go with Andrew. So let's take a look. Andrew, are you out there? And I don't.
Can you hear me, Professor?
I can. Oh, yes, that's right, Andrew. So your camera was having issues, and we're gonna look at your card, right?
Do I share my screen? Because I have like the picture of it.
Yeah, go for it. If you can share your screen and it does give you a passcode, let's give it a go and we'll take a look at it.
Well, hopefully this works.
Cool. And if not, I have your card. Oh, there it goes.
Does that work?
That is working.
My bad. How do I?
There we go. We see you.
So I drew. I did something. It's something.
That's fine.
But I did it more in the traditional, style. It was a lot of, erase marks and stuff. A lot of design. I altered.
No worries.
I mixed around things here and there. I didn't really have like a set. I had a few ideas on what I wanted to, to do, on like stuff I wanted to add. Swords, because I think they're cool. I have the little music notes right there because I enjoy listening to music a lot in my spare time. I mean, whenever I'm doing anything really. That little character is it's from a manga, and it's really good. But I just like reading manga on my spare time and going and just collecting them, even though they're really expensive here. But it's okay.
Yeah, they
it's worth it.
They're good readings.
that E, I have like tools because I really like engineering and stuff. Well, engineering and design. I took a pathway during high school.
Okay.
And it was an engineering and design a pathway. I like, the more design aspect of things. So I think that really influenced me taking, going out and taking this class like heavily.
Very cool. Okay, and so and then the W there is.
It's a whale. It's supposed to be a whale.
Okay, no worries.
Let's just all pretend that it looks like a whale.
Okay, very cool. It's interesting that you mentioned that you took engineering and then that was your first exposure to the design process. Is that right?
Yeah. It was a lot of designing in groups and individual work, obviously, but I just really enjoyed like a lot of, because we went from like hands-on stuff to a lot of computer programs, and like I really enjoyed it a lot.
So that's interesting because I've always made the remark that that engineers now are teaching the future engineering generation like design, and they say design engineering, but in reality it's design thinking, just repackaged. So I find it really interesting that now it's more digital, and now the design process, the creative process is more valuable. So that's cool that you're seeing that, and now you've decided to kind of jump in. Is this going to be a career or is more of an interest class that you want to explore?
I would like for it to be a career. So that's something that I'm kind of aiming for right now.
Awesome. Okay, definitely. And did I ask if it was first, second?
Oh,
semester?
it's my first semester.
First semester. All right. What high school are we coming from?
Sure High.
Sure High. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you're here, Andrew. You'll definitely going to learn a lot, and I know we don't have our camera working, but don't worry about it. We will get it working in no time. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm happy you're here, man, and welcome to the class. And you will definitely learn logos as for sure, and a lot of other stuff in the class. So really excited to see what you can bring. So welcome, man. I'm happy you're here.
Thank you, Professor.
All right, very cool. Okay, let's go to is it Arai? Am I pronouncing your name right?
It's Arai.
Arai. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So am I saying that right? Arai?
Yeah, or you could just call me Ari or Ara, whatever you choose, because a lot of people call me different names.
No, it's cool. But the proper one is Arai.
Yes.
Arai. Okay. All right. I think I could pull that off because my cousin's name is Sachari, and spelled Zachary, but she's Sachari. So I'm gonna make that relationship there. Puerto Rican names are always a little funny too. So Sachari. So it's great. So Arari, what brings you to the class? And did you go traditional or you go digital on your name card?
Well, I went traditional because, okay, the reason why is because back in middle school, I was more like, I did try a digital like art class, and I was pretty good at it. It was mainly like Photoshop, but I'm more of like on hands type of person. Like I have trouble with technology, and that's why I'm like just trying to challenge myself with all like technology. And like I find it like cool because like the whole like with anime or like with like webtoon, all that, like the creations, they're just like, it's so cute. I like it. And so this was, I don't know if it's like backwards. Oh yeah, it is, huh?
No, it looks backwards to you, but to us it looks straight. So that looks good.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, that's cool. Okay, I like the shading. It looks like you did some shading there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did some painting and art classes in middle school, but.
Okay, and so tell us a little bit about the design and what we created.
Okay, the reason why I chose the moon, like the clouds and like sparkles around it, is just because I'm really into astrology and all that, but not too excessive at the point where people are like, oh, you're this sign, I can't be friends with you. No, I'm not like that. But I'm really good into astrology, like I really do. And I don't know, it's just because of my zodiac sign, the Cancer, we're ruled by like the moon. I'm mainly like the moon in Taurus, but you know, people understand, you know, they knew astrology. But I actually had two different designs because I wanted to explain that as you can see from the lights, there's two different colors in my room.
Yes. Mhm.
It's because I'm a very fun person, which is this color, but also I could be very quiet and to myself. And that's why I chose this, because it's just very like plain straight out there. And this one that I drew like literally like 10 minutes ago, it's more of like a colorful side of me.
Cool.
Very like the vanity. I work full time on a computer. I like the ocean and like nature itself, and I have like my child at heart. See what I did there, the heart.
Mhm.
And I like fashion, which I drew a shoe. So like
Wow.
I just like share that I could be two sides. You know, if I'm too quiet, it's not because I want to. It's just because I'm thinking or I'm like very focused. So I
Yeah.
can also be loud. But it's
That's
just
great.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And are you are we taking the class as a career exploring or for fun? Is this something that you want to do possibly, full time? What would be the purposes on that? What brings you to the class, would you say?
Well, at the beginning it was because I like designing my own patches. I always did that by like, by hand. And I designed some of my patches for my varsity jacket and all that. So like it just got me like to really like explore that area. And especially since my dad and like I know someone from my mom's side of the family who's into really like graphic design and everything. So it just like got me like, oh, should I try it and challenge myself? And it's just I'm kind of like testing the waters here because I've done like a lot of painting and like a lot of sculpting, all that in high school and in middle school. And so I just wanted to like try graphic, and technology. So I just, whatever piques my interest, I'll try it out.
So so you are definitely challenging yourself with tech because you're more hands-on.
Mhm.
And this is the first round of it, and that's great. And I think you're gonna do a lot. I think you're gonna get a lot of value. I think you're gonna have a good fun time doing it and building it and putting it together. So your drawings look great. I do see color, I see graphic, I see incorporation of lettering within the element. Like that's very logo like based strategies. So now you even thought out your background too. So you have like a little strategic element there going on, which is great. So I think you're gonna have fun in the class. I'm happy that you're here. And I think it's gonna be a really positive experience overall. And it sounds like you were first semester or second semester?
First semester.
Oh my goodness, I have so many first semesters here. That's cool. Well, I am the perfect transition because I teach high school. So we'll be a good bridge for you. All right. Well, don't work full time, work part time, and I think you're gonna really like it. I think it's gonna be a positive experience for you. Okay. If you need anything, let me know. Shoot me an email. We're all your teachers are here for you. Okay. All right. Very cool. Thanks, Arai. Appreciate it. Okay. All right, guys. Almost there. Let's see, Giovanni. I think I have you here on the list. So, are you out there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hey, all right, Giovanni, you are there. Welcome to the class. For your name card, did you go traditional or did you go?
I went traditional. My Adobe, I don't have it on my laptop, so because I have more storage. So I didn't have a chance to do it. So I just did traditional. So many people call me Joey, so that's why I went for. I couldn't fit my whole name into the thing. I just went with that. I drew the books. These are books right here, if you can really see. I love reading at my free time, I guess. Right here, the ghost was for Halloween. I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite, like, I guess, if you count as a holiday. So that's why I drew the ghost for.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
The world and it's an airplane. I love traveling the world. I've been doing it every year. I couldn't do it this year since the pandemic, so that kind of sucks. But it's not holding me back. Hopefully next year, hopefully things start reopening and I could start traveling again. I drew the guitar because, sorry for the background. I drew the guitar because I play instruments. I play the guitar, piano, and that's mostly it. The reason I'm pursuing graphic arts and design is, I don't know, I just looking, when I was traveling around the world, as I said, I just saw people's like digital art, and it inspired me to kind of pursue that. And I just got bored of playing instruments. I've been doing it since I was very small, so I wanted to pursue something different, and that's mostly it.
Wonderful.
all.
You bring up a good point about traveling the world in graphic design. I feel like other parts of the world have amazing design, and America
Yes.
could do better. Just curious, like, what's been your favorite place that you've traveled to, up to date?
I don't know. It's Spain or France. I've been to both. I don't know which one has the best art. I say France probably. I've been to really a lot of galleries out there, and it's really amazing seeing all that art.
It is, yeah. If anyone's never been to Europe, if once things start opening up, highly recommend it. If you're pursuing design, you have to go to Europe, because the pictures on the books and online do not do the justice of seeing something in real life. And I think, Giovanni, you can be a testament to that.
Yeah.
There's something amazing about seeing a work of art that is right in front of you, that you notice the details that maybe you wouldn't notice in like a digital image. So that's amazing. You sound like you are highly talented. And I am happy that you are in the class. Is this your first semester, second or third college?
My third semester. I was doing my GEs the past 2 semesters.
Awesome. Okay, and so this is like your first graphic design class, or second or third?
I've taken it in high school, my last 2 years of high school. And that's why I kind of liked it again. And I'm taking this class and 2-dimensional design and Western art.
Western art, yeah.
That's what I'm
Awesome.
taking right now.
Awesome. Well, I think life experience will also add to your repertoire, so that's great. And I'm glad you're here and happy to have you in the class. So welcome, Joey. So I'll remember to use Joe instead of Giovanni. So welcome to class, Joe.
All right.
Very cool. All right, this is great. All right, and let's see. I think, Precious, you are back. So let's go ahead and follow up with you. I saw you out there, and there you are. And let's see if it's working now with the access and restrictions and things all already plugged in.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. All right, so Precious, let's see if it works. You can share your screen. I think it was digital, you said. So, all right, cool. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Precious, and
hi.
Yeah.
My name is Precious Angelinas. This is my first semester here at Rio Hondo. I am I'm in graphic design because I wanted to try my best and do like as much art as I can in school, because I didn't get to in high school. In the future, I want to be able to design for video games, whether it be for characters, scenarios, maybe even like scripts and stuff like that. So this is my name tag. I drew a ramen bowl because I love cooking, and I also love going out to eat and eating food from different countries. And the stuff that I like to cook is usually like stuff from different countries. And at the bottom right corner is a character that I drew for a friend. He's from an anime that he likes. So I draw in my free time too. I draw anime, and I also design characters for people as commissions. They hire me. And I also draw Twitch emotes, profile pictures, and banners for people who stream on YouTube and on Twitch too. And in the top left corner, I have 2 K-pop light sticks from K-pop groups that I like, which is Twice and BTS. I went to see BTS in May of 2019, so it was one of my most memorable moments. I had so much fun. And in the bottom left corner, I have my PS4 controller because I stream on Twitch. I play video games on my free time, whether it be single player games with story-based, multiplayer games, or even just some anime game or something like that. Wow. And I chose everything to have like a green style because green's my favorite color. I love green, and I added stars because I love stars. And so yeah, that's my thing.
This is awesome. So these are your actual illustrations, and are these scans or have you pieced them together digitally using other technology?
I have my own drawing program called Paint Tool Sci. I just drew them as I was working on this, and then I just left them there.
Very cool. So, wow. And so then you are interested in, because so great skills, drawing looks awesome. You're doing commissions. What do you hope to accomplish with the class? Like, how would you like to expand your skill set, or what would you like to see happen after taking it?
As much as I love drawing characters and drawing people for other people, I want to learn how to design things like objects that aren't people, that aren't related to that. Because if I want to get better at doing like designing characters for people, I want to at least draw a full art piece instead of drawing a person with nothing in the background, or a poster for someone for like a show that they're making, or like a video game that they're designing, that kind of thing.
So more of like the layout, more of
Yeah.
the like how to incorporate multiple elements rather than the single element there. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Like some of us are very character driven, and we can draw individual pieces, but when it comes to like the whole, or incorporating into other elements or backgrounds or just environments, it can be, where do I start? How do I control all the elements, as it were?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, definitely, that's this class, right? Principles of design. We talk about that all the time. And so this is cool. I really think this is awesome. And just out of curiosity, like, how often do you think people call you to create, things for their streams and characters? Like, would you say that you're very busy?
When I was like earlier this year, before August up till late 2019, I was busy almost every single day. Wow. I like never had any free time, but I recently closed my commissions in order for me to focus on college and stuff. And I want to get myself situated, and then I'll open them up again for people who want to hire me.
Wow. So you saw an increase during the pandemic because everyone was obviously home streaming and trying to build a brand and kind of set it up. And then, okay. So I hope that you charged a lot for it, but but we'll definitely talk about that when we get to value-based design. And this is cool. I really think you have a wealth of knowledge that I think a lot of us could definitely benefit from. And so for those of us that might want to pursue things for the streaming world and things like that, because I'm starting to see it being more and more of a area of opportunity, I guess you can say. So yeah, this is great. So this is going to be, I'm going to be definitely talking to you here and there. It's like, hey, how's that world looking? But either way, I think you can definitely get some value in this class. I think the projects will be challenging. I think you'll get to understand some of the ways things work. I think some things will be easier, some things will be challenging, like I said. But nonetheless, I think you're going to get a positive experience. So I'm super pumped that you're here, and you got a new computer, so you're ready to rock and roll. And so it's going to be a really awesome semester, and I look forward to seeing all the cool stuff that you and a lot of the class is going to create. So that's going to be so cool. So thank you for sharing. Awesome. Very cool. All right, guys. I think we got everybody. I don't know, give or take.
I still need to do mine.
Dominic, there you go. And anyone else not go yet? I think Philip and Dominic and Louis and Alexis, you guys are out there, right? So, okay. So let's go ahead and start off. We'll go down my list here. So, well, let's go there. Yeah. So Dominic, let's have you pop on in, and welcome to the class, man. And you went traditional, right?
Yeah, I went traditional.
All right, very cool. So welcome. Let's take a look and share a little bit about what brings you to the class.
Okay, so I'm Dominic Miller. I did about 6 years in the Navy. I was an aviation electrician, and got out. I became an electrician for a railroad. That's where I work right now full time. And just using my my GI Bill, to finish school and get some things done and look into some things I want to try out. So I went to Rio. I've been there about 3 years, and I was doing photography because that was something I was interested in. And due to COVID, it kind of got a little hard to do some of the classes that I needed. So my counselor, she suggested I, start trying maybe to do some stuff in like graphic design, different design classes. So that's why I'm here, what I'm doing now. And just seeing what's out there. I took graphic design last semester, and I really enjoyed it. And now I think I want to get into it more and learn more about it and stuff.
Awesome.
So
So you feel like it's going to be more of a career change possibly in the future?
No, I mean, I'm still, I'm an electrician for a railroad full time, and I enjoy doing that. This is just something that, maybe to do on the side or just get into. I like working with computers and stuff. And, as far as like putting stuff together, like on Photoshop and everything, it's just, to me, it's really interesting. And, someday if I had a kid and stuff, I think it would help them to know how to work my way around computers, doing this Photoshop and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for serving, first of all. And I'm glad that you're here. A lot of times, sometimes people want to keep doing their thing and not expand the learning, but you're here and you're doing it. So
yeah,
I think you're gonna learn a lot. I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting, and it's gonna a good level of challenge as well. And yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. So hopefully Rio's been doing a good thing, and you've been enjoying the classes, it looks like, and everything's going well. So welcome, man. I'm happy you're here, and
cool. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Very cool. All right, welcome.
Cool.
All right, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's see. We'll go with. I'm going down my list here a little bit. So, Philip, let's go with you. I think we haven't had you go, right? And
all right.
And we'll take a look and get you rocking and rolling. So let's see. It's coming in. There you are. All right, man. Yeah, man. Welcome to the class. And let's take a look at your name card and tell us a little bit about what brings you to the class.
So this is my name card. It's just like a basic sketch.
Very cool. And it looks like we got some cool elements happening in here. Tell us a little bit about what you incorporated. What does it say about you?
I got like a pencil because I like to draw. That's like supposed to look like an Xbox, except it's like an H. Right here is headphones because I like to listen to music. This is my favorite game. Oh yeah, it's a Ghost from Destiny.
Destiny, there you go.
One of my favorite games to play so far right now. These are like books because I like to read, and I don't know what I was gonna do with this. Probably put like a favorite show that I like to watch.
Very cool. And are you taking the class because we were doing it for a career, interest, fun?
Well, at first I was thinking about it for a career, but then I was just thinking that like I already did like 2 years in high school for graphic design, and I would like to like relearn things because I kind of forgot. Like I didn't learn much from Adobe Illustrator and stuff like that, but I learned mostly from like Photoshop.
Okay, so you want to expand that set. You got a good foundation in Photoshop, and you just kind of want to see that other world a little bit and see what some of the details are and things of that sort.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, and what's this your first semester, second, third semester?
First semester.
Oh man, we got a lot of firsts. That's cool. All right, man. And what high school were you coming from?
Whittier.
Whittier High. Okay, cool. All right, man. Well then, and the biggest difference in starting college, would you say? Like
schedule and the amount of work you get.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time, right? But hey, you got time. So I think this is gonna be great. We learn by doing in this class. So it'll be a positive experience nonetheless. I'm happy you're here though. And hopefully we can fill in some of the gaps of the things that you learned in high school and keep on expanding that learning. And maybe, who knows, maybe it'll be just side hustle, make some money, or maybe a career, who knows? But either way, you're here and you're participating, and I'm glad you're starting. So welcome to the class. Very cool. All right, very cool. All right, this is so cool, man. Everyone's like, I want to say like almost half the class is like recent grads from the high school, so that's cool. All right, guys. We got, I think, 2 more people, right? So I think we got Louie and Alexis. So let's see, Alexis, I think we'll have you jump in and tell us a little bit. So we have an Alexa and we have an Alexis. So I got to remember that I'm not saying, I got to be very clear with both my Alexa and Alexis. So welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Did we go
I'm trying
digital
to
or?
share. Yeah, I'm trying to share my screen, but I don't really know how to.
There might be the green button on the bottom of Zoom. It says share screen.
Okay. It's making me open the like privacy
See,
thing.
yeah. Okay, it's probably gonna make you reset.
Okay.
So and restart. So we'll hold off on that, and
Okay.
we'll just kind of talk a little bit, and we'll kind of get that on the flip side, and you can email it over to me if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you have to enter your password, restart. It's gonna take a minute there.
I have like a picture of it on my iPad. I can just hold it up.
Oh, that'd be great.
Like for right now, you know. But okay, so I did it on
Perfect.
Procreate. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, sorry. But
it's coming in really clearly, actually.
so I have a little business and I just spend a lot of time making jewelry. So I like decided to do all of the letters with stuff that I use every day. So the A is like my jewelry pliers, and then I just use like my supplies. The L is my beads. The E is like chain. The X is the scissors, and then jump rings, and then the S is crystals, because like I really like to work those into my design.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm not sure if you can see it, but
we
I
saw
tried.
it very, very clearly, actually. So it was perfect. So that's awesome. So then, are you thinking about doing this to expand your business, or?
Yes, definitely. I didn't even really plan, like I kind of started my business a few years ago and it's grown so much that I definitely want to get into like logos and making just like graphic design and digital illustration. So
Now, is that because the jewelry led to other commissions, or you're getting just more purchases from the designs of the jewelry, which were illustrated?
yeah, more so I want to like make my, you know, make my brand a certain like aesthetic and like get into like how I can up my website and the designs in that way. And I also do like content creation on social media, so I feel like it just goes hand in hand with like digital art and illustration and all that.
So you work in that field of digital
Mhm.
media and applying onto that. Okay, great. So it sounds. Are you do you have your certificate, your bachelor's, or are you just starting
No,
out?
I don't know. This is my first year, my first semester. So I have nothing. Like everything that I've learned is just from like the internet or just experience, but I have no like actual certificate or anything.
Oh, not that it's required. It's just everyone is coming from a different place. So
Mhm,
okay,
yeah,
so
totally.
sounds great. So awesome. So totally accessories was my thing. I worked in that. You know, the company I worked for went from accessories to apparel to bags and accessories and turned it into a big
Mhm.
brand. So yeah, I think that the interest will align, and we
Yeah.
do when we get to the logo, which is actually one of the last projects we do in the class. Everyone designs their own logo, taking everything they've learned from this semester and apply that. And then since you're doing business, we will cover that in value-based design
Mhm.
and talk a little bit about like charges and how to charge for it. So ultimate goal is to have like your own label, high volume sales.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
and
Like I
push
feel like
that. Mhm.
I have the art or like the design like physical down, but I feel like I want to get that down like on the internet, you know, like I want the whole package of everything, and I definitely feel like this was the next step to take to do that.
That's awesome. And have you been in the field for a few years or a recent high school grad? It's hard for me to gauge right now. So
I graduated high school in 2016. So like I've just been doing stuff. I worked in different fields and now I'm here. So it's just like a new kind of
great.
thing.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad you're back and you wanted to invest in yourself and build your business, and you see the potential. So yeah, I think you're in the right place. I think it's going to be really cool. People like your Hello Kitties and stuff,
Oh yeah,
and so
yes.
you're getting a lot of positivity and love from there. And yeah,
Awesome.
and you know, if you get an opportunity, link the business. We always like to support students and businesses and entrepreneurs as well. And I'm a big believer in female entrepreneurs. And so I want to reinforce that and keep that sustainability going. So if this class is your first step towards sustainability, then it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to help you in that process. So that'll be great. And yeah, I think you'll learn a lot in the class. So, and we might just buy some stuff, right, people? So,
Yay.
so yeah, so feel free to link your business at any point throughout the semester, and we'll be happy to support. So
Awesome. Thank you.
welcome to the class.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Yeah, very cool. All right, guys. Man, we got some entrepreneurs here. We got first time. We got all generations. That's awesome. All right, and I think we're going to conclude with Louis. So Louis, can you hear us? And is the How's the audio and the camera looking on your side? Is it coming in okay? May or may not be working. I don't know yet. If it's not coming through, you could even type it in the chat as well, just to make sure. And I don't think we hear Louis. Louis, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know why my camera is not working.
Oh, no worries. If you want, you can email it over to me, and then we can kind of do a little quick follow-up and kind of go from there if that helps.
All right.
Okay, so we'll follow up at a later time, but maybe with just really quick, Louis, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself. We can hear you, so you can kind of voice it in and just share a little bit about what brings you to the class.
The name tag, typical. Well, I graduated high school in 2003, so it's been a while. But I went to Whittier College, so I was there for about 3 years and pursued a different way of making money. So I've been a union plumber for about 8 years now. I'm a general foreman for a big mechanical company out here in Los Angeles. At the Ram Stadium. I typically stay in hospitals, so I build and remodel hospitals for the plumbing side and mechanical side. And honestly, I'm just tired of dealing with people that just don't do their job, and it's just kind of just taking another look at what I really want to do. And art is something that I put on the back burner for a long time with the family and kids and money. So there's a lot of money in construction, and I'm a little nervous because I've definitely already just kind of took a leap of faith. So I just recently created 2 businesses already. So one is a brand business for clothing, which is why I'm here. I am traditionally just self-taught and just a lot of canvas work, a lot of paint, brush work, charcoal, just traditional ways of drawing. I'm currently practicing calligraphy, just trying to get into that traditionally with the right tools and inks, and studying the literature on the background of the lettering itself. And so I kind of just taking different times to invest into different art forms, Eastern art that I've never really given the luck into. I was very Western and old European art. So a lot of black and white art is typically what I did. A lot of graffiti art from my younger days, and which nowadays seems to attract the younger generation. So that's kind of cool. And just kind of, that's pretty much what my name card was. It's just the practice of the calligraphy that I'm trying to just get good at, or have some sort of skill in it. But the other business I have is a t-shirt printing company. So just to provide a decent product with silk-string t-shirts and vinyl, whatever I can get my hands on, actually. And right now I just need to learn how to do all this fancy computer stuff that all these young kids here know how to do. Not that I don't know, being in my profession, it's not like I'm an idiot, but definitely need to invest time in it, which is why I'm starting here and hoping to get my credits from Whittier College and whatever I can get here for this particular career, and then hopefully transfer to SC or something a little bit more
Awesome.
that has a prestigious name, just so that I'm older, so the paper just doesn't, it matters. It's just, it opens doors and meetings to people that you may not be able to get in the room with if you don't have that piece of paper, which is vital. So and I never got a chance to finish it, so I kind of want to come back and finish my college career right now that I've made, that the family's in a good place, that I can take a kind of a leap of faith on myself right now.
Well, that's great, man. Well, I'm very glad that you are investing in yourself after investing in your family, and so that's something to be honored. So I'm glad you're doing it. And it's a lot of work. I know you're working and you're doing this at night, so I feel it. I know it because I do my day classes and I work in the evening too. So I think you're gonna get a lot of value. I think it's gonna be great, and you have already a few folks that went to Whittier as well, and they share the same process as you. So I think it's going to be awesome, and I think you're going to get a lot of value in this class, and you'll pick up a lot. I think a lot of folks that do pick up a lot, and we start from like very basic. So we'll work out the camera issues, we'll work out some of the general technical stuff. But I'm just glad you're here, man. So thanks, thanks for investing in yourself, and I hope you get a lot of value, and I know you will. So it will be a very engaging and fun process, and really valuable as well. So I want to make sure you come out successful here. Okay.
Everyone here will.
Awesome. All right. Well, welcome. This is great. All right, guys. So then I think we got everybody, and we got to like just figure out and just learn about everybody there. So thanks for pressing through, guys. I think it's important for me to kind of get everybody. I always take little notes on like where everybody's at, so that so I can meet you where you're at. So we have a lot of new folks and a lot of recent grads, and so to my folks that are like later years that are just taking college or semester 2, 3 or returning, feel free to invest in our next generation, our recent high schoolers, because this is a very different college experience from most of ours, I would say. So that's going to be great. We got 20 minutes, guys. I think I'm not going to jump into the next lesson on learning how to learn, because I think everyone's a little bit loaded. Oh, I think we see you here, Louis. But we'll get that over. You can shoot it over and email it over to me, okay? And then we'll kind of get you going there, okay? But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and break that down. I think overall it was great. We got Alexis's business in on the link, so feel free to check it out. And if you guys have any other things too that you want to share with the class, links and things of that sort, obviously you can always feel free to share that. But I think just practical next steps is that let's do this. Thursday, we'll start off fresh. We'll go over the habits. We'll go over learning how to learn. And just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a head start, just because I want to make sure it's not going to be too crazy tonight on messages. And I know it's been a little bit of a long evening. I'm going to launch this already for you. So let's go ahead and publish it. So at least you can get a little bit of a head start on what's to come. And so here's my side. And I'm going to go ahead and publish designer therapy. And we won't publish the last year's. We will hit the discussion and the activity and habit formation exercise. So you guys will get access to that starting tonight, okay? And you can start taking a quick peek at it. But this is basically what week 1 will typically look like, / week 2 really, where when you go to designer therapy, it's going to have discussion, the power of habit. When you click onto it, it'll basically ask for you guys to watch this short video as an introductory video on habit and what it means, okay? Does it say February? Oh, we'll change the due date on that. We'll definitely make a modification on that. It's probably from last semester. So we'll make a change to that. So I'll make that push over next, so you can work on that. And then there's a discussion question, right? It's going to say, how does a person change a habit? How could a person be put into practice Duick's model of habit formation? And then the activity will basically start to have the lesson, and we'll go over that lesson on habit. And basically it's a habit formation exercise. Can you identify a bad habit that you have, and what is a way for us to convert it into a new habit, and what are the triggers for that? Okay, so basically the research is going to say that there's a trigger, and that trigger is going to carry a series of events that lead to your habit, right? But at the end there is something that is a motivator, and that is the sort of the yearning or for the need of something, right? So it kind of goes a little bit deep on the meta stuff, but we're going to look at that. We're going to we're going to review it. We're going to see what it looks like in addition to learning how to learn and what the science says. And then we'll give you some time to develop that exercise, put it together, walk you through the process step by step, okay? Once we do that exercise, we may have enough time to kick off the value-based design. And that's basically how much to charge for a project. So that's literally the next project after the habit. So I have a feeling that we're going to have enough time to do value-based design on Thursday and get that started and get that rolling there. Okay, but you have the content now, and you can start reviewing it tonight in preparation for Thursday. So hopefully that helps, and that gives you guys a little bit of time to prepare. Okay, Sound pretty good? Okay, that makes sense. You can build a thumbs up emoji there. We're slowly ramping up, and then we'll get you going there too. Also, Adobe Illustrator, how many of you guys are still having some issues with Adobe Illustrator? Like, I'm having problems. You can give me a little thumbs up. Like, I'm having installation issues, something of that sort. Okay, a couple of people are mentioning that. How many of us have already installed it and launched it and it works fine? Give me a little thumbs up emoji. Like, it's working and it seems to be stable for the most part. Okay, so far so good. Okay, I would encourage everyone to try to install it, and if you're having any issues of like charging, let me know right away so that I can send a message and set it up for reinstallation. Okay, so we want to make sure that you're getting access to it well in advance, even though it might be another week or so before we kick off. Okay, so the sooner we can turn it on, the sooner we can make it work. And I've already heard a couple people say that you ran out of memory in your computer. So we're going to start to think about clearing your memory up and start putting that together. So you may have to delete videos. You may have to put photos in the cloud or on a jump drive or an external drive that you have to buy online, like a terabyte plus. Think about opening up space for your computer, okay? So we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to install Illustrator because it will require space, okay? So we're getting there. We're going to get there really quickly, but we're going to talk about mindset and everything of that sort. And once we cover mindset, then we're off to the races and starting up the basic fundamental tools of Adobe Illustrator. Okay, sound pretty good? All right, awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to stick around for a couple of minutes in case anyone has questions regarding their ad codes, or if you have questions regarding the program or any general questions in there. And we'll take it from there if you have it set up, okay? And okay, great. And Alexa's setting up a group me in case there's any communications between this specific class. Is that the idea, Alexa? It's only for this class?
Yeah, I've used this communication outlet before for previous classes, and it just kind of helps us like answer any questions real quick, and we need to like collaborate on an idea or something, but it just gives like remind each other about a homework assignment or whatever. But if you want to join, it's helped me in the past. Maybe it could help one of you guys too.
Awesome. And GroupMe is kind of like a messaging app, but it requires login and it doesn't give away any cell phone information or anything like that. So it's just another platform to communicate without giving away your info. You do have to register with a cell phone, and it's text you, but no one knows your cell phone number, if that makes sense. So, or your email or your personal stuff. It's just a sort of a neutral communication platform, as it were. Okay. So thank you for setting that up, and that'll be great as another feature for the class. Okay. All right. Very cool. All right, guys. So then we will catch you then on Thursday, 6:30. And if there's any questions, feel free to email me between now and then, and I'll stick around a couple minutes to answer any questions that you may have. Okay. And no, James, no Discord server required. Discord is a little bit more gaming related, and it can lead into other things, and we don't want to distract. So if you feel like it's a benefit, then share with the class, but it's amongst the students in the class, okay? So I know Discord can be used for communication / also video and audio capabilities. So it's kind of like a group me in a way, but I know it has different functions. So maybe we can have that as a discussion for next class there, okay? All right, so it might be a possibility. Never know, okay? Maybe for class gaming or for community building, I can see that as being an option for Discord if that's the case. So one is for studying, the other one is for like community building and for like recreation and gaming and whatnot. So that would be my thoughts on possibly using the Discord, okay? So sounds good. Very cool. All right, guys, have a good night. We will see you next time, and we'll check you soon, okay? All right, you guys are dismissed. We'll see you then. Have a good night. Okay. And we will stop the recording momentarily. So
I'll see you on Thursday.
we will see you Thursday, Laker. Okay, have a good night. Be safe.
Actually, did you know that this